told, or whatever idea you're going to put into action would definitely help or not, or what will be the end result of your action. So naturally, it is um, possible that any kind of person who has an idea or vision and trying to bring it to practice would definitely ask someone about it or seek the person's view. And because we fear, and then because we think that when we fail, people will turn to us and mock at us, or let's say tease us because we have failed, because we didn't consult them, we are tempted to always seek approval from people around us before we take an action. But this evening, we are saying that you shouldn't have to ask permission from any other person, whether around you, people you know, people you don't know. You don't need their permission to be able to take an action. Yes, of course, you need their views. Yes, of course, you need to ask. Yes, of course, you need to seek people's ideas. You need to compare and contrast your ideas with others. Yes, of course, you need to find out more about your ideas. But trying to be at a point where if no one approves of your idea, if let's say you ask three people and two people disapprove it, then you go back to bed and sleep, is what we are against and we are talking about this evening. Now, I want us to talk about what success means. Yesterday, I think a lot of people, those who spoke a lot about what success means. I think my screen is taking a while to load. Good. So this is a little brief about me, my profile. So after which, maybe when I share it, you can read. So what success is, or what at all is success? So success simply means the fact that you have achieved something you've been looking for, or you have been working hard at. And simply means that one must work at something to achieve it. So if you don't work at anything, you don't expect success from it. And then success is relative, like yesterday we heard. It's relative because I am coming from a setting where when you had, let's say, so many cattle, you had two or three wives, you were called a successful person. So in that context, it's a success to some people. But in our contemporary 21st century, success has become riches, well-being, and fame. So if you are not famous, if you don't improve in your well-being, if you are not rich, then we tend to say that you are not successful. So in our 21st century, you see that your well-being has improved. You're able to feed yourself well, you're able to take care of your family, you're able to do a lot of things, you're able to impact others, then we say you are successful. You have money, you're able to turn one or two things around without seeking approval of people or without even asking for money or borrowing and all that. So we say you are successful. How about a miracle? A miracle is an extraordinary and an all of a sudden welcoming event that is not explainable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore attributed to a divine agency. So anything that happens all of a sudden, it might be good, it might be bad, where you cannot even use any natural law or scientific law to approve or to even explain it, to find out how someone made it. So we say it's a miracle. So for example, someone is sick, you know very well that this kind of sickness, that person has to go to hospital. All of a sudden, the person prays and is healed. It's a miracle. And usually we are attributed to what do you call religion? Religion. We are usually attributing this to religion all the time. So when we hear about miracle, it's either it's a church, a mosque, or let's say a traditional setting that we are talking about. That is what we call a miracle. Okay, so what relation do success and miracle have? success and miracle. The fact that success means achieving something you've planned and worked on. Literally, one is tempted to conclude that the results of hard work is success. So success is defined in book as the fact of achieving something you have planned and worked on. So since it's something you have achieved before, because you worked on it, because you planned and worked hard on it, we are tempted to conclude that everything about success is hard work. You must work hard, you must sweat, you must work tirelessly before you are able to achieve success. Also, owing to the facts available about people you never thought they could even make it in life. There are people that growing up, we saw them very wretched, and today they have achieved certain kind of success in life that we never expected or we least expected. And because of that, and the religious perspective of our minds, we always think that such successes are born of miracles or luck or a spiritual favor. So we don't think of any other thing else when we see someone achieving it or someone becoming successful. We link it to the fact that this person, I knew him. I knew very well he would never be who he is today. When we were growing up, he was least respected among our friends. So it's a miracle or it's a luck. This is just a favor. He didn't work for it. So we always assume that. So success and miracle, whenever we think about success, we think it is either a miracle or it's a favor. However, in the real and practical life, success doesn't depend on our hard work. Neither is it a luck or a miracle. And in fact, if you ask me, I would say that hard work is just 1% of the equation of success. Success does not depend on hard work. Only a 1% is what hard work. The 99% of success ingredient is what I term is as what being smart. So yesterday, if we listen to the other speakers, one said we must identify our purpose. Another one said we must add value to our purpose. Today, what we are going to look at is that before you are able to start without seeking approval and permission from your society or from people around you, you must be smart. So 99% of the success ingredient doesn't rely on hard work, but it relies on what? Being smart. So when we say being smart, that person you are surprised of his or her success might have gotten things done wrong at the time you knew him. So a time ago, you knew someone who was least respected, whom you never expect that he could make it in life. But all of a sudden, the person has made it. So it's possible that the person along the line got things done right. He became smarter than you expected earlier. And that's how come the person was able to make it. So as we listened yesterday, you have to identify your purpose. You have to add value to your purpose. And today, you must be smart after having found your purpose and even adding value to it. You still have to be smart. Now, what do I mean by being smart? Being smart is not about stealing. Being smart is not about scamming. And being smart is not about how to outsmart people's brain and steal from them or take valuable things from them. That is not what I mean. But let's explain this being smart in some context. In the educational context, those of us who are teachers, and I'm a proud one, teachers have a way of describing people in their classroom. So sometimes we say a child is a weak learner, one is a fast learner, and the other is a smart learner. Sometimes when we have many of them being smart, we tend to say that one is the smartest. We try to figure out that this person is the smartest. Why do we say he's the smartest? Because he is able to do things better than his normal mates. So when his mates are doing things in a normal way, relating to their age and their ability, he or she, that child, is doing things that are amazing, that are incomprehensible. You can't understand why the child is able to do that. So we say that person is smart. But in real life context too, being smart is something that is grown and cultivated, often by being curious. And I wish I could underline this word, curious enough to seek out new information and by recognizing what you don't already know. So being smart means what? Your ability to put ideas together and create solutions to problems. So when you are smart, it means that you have the ability to focus, to concentrate, and to communicate. So when you're able to focus and find your purpose, and you're able to concentrate on it and added value to it, then you are able to communicate that purpose, that value you've added to yourself to the world. So someone may be so rich in terms of knowledge and wisdom. Someone may be so rich in terms of talent and skills, but that person may not be able to communicate it well to the public. So that person is only wasting a talent, and you would benefit nothing from that. So in real life context, when you are smart, you have the ability to focus on your purpose. You have the ability to concentrate and add value to your purpose, and you have the ability to communicate your purpose and your skills to the world. That is being smart. Why be smart? And in fact, all of us are born from blood. And so why do we have to say that others have to be smart so that they can make it? Or we have to outsmart others? The reason is that opportunities come but very tricky and in different forms. I hope I'm heard. If you can hear me, just drop something on the comment section so that I know you are online. Otherwise, maybe I might be speaking to the air. All right, okay. So opportunities come very tricky and they sometimes come in different forms. In fact, more often than not, we are not able to recognize opportunities because they come very tricky, sometimes slips through back door, and often disguised in a form of failure and misfortune. And I set example as the story of Edwin Barnes and Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is a renowned, innovative person who has been able to bring a lot of innovations. So he was very popular and very famous in America. At the time, Edwin Barnes was nothing. He was nobody. Let me assume that in our setting today, I would say he was one of us because we haven't gone that far. So he thought of it that he wanted to have a partnership with Thomas Edison. I can suppose that Thomas Edison in our contemporary world or in our country, Ghana and Nigeria and others, we may say Dangote, the likes of Despite, Kempon, Kenoforia, and those people who have made a lot of money, they have their businesses running here and there. We can link Thomas Edison's fame and his character at the time to these people I have just mentioned. So imagine that I, Apam Jonathan, as young as I am, and at the time I have no fame, no one knows me anywhere, I want to have a partnership, a business partnership, of course, with Dr. Kwame Despite, or with Dangote, or with Jack Ma. I want to have a business partnership with Ratan Tata. It's very, very difficult for me to easily get that opportunity to build any relationship, to have a business partnership with such a person. So this is what Edwin Burns did. And in fact, he went to his office. He went to Edison's office and told him he wanted a job. So Thomas Edison, looking at him from head to toe, in fact, he disguised him. and thought in his mind that he could do nothing to help this guy. So the guy pleaded that he should even allow him to clean his office. He should just clean his office. So he allowed him and he cleaned his office for some time. But he knew in his mind that he wanted to have business partnership with him. But he couldn't have said it because looking at his status at the time, he couldn't have any business partnership with Thomas Edison. So the opportunity availed himself in the form of cleaning, wretched work, running helter-skelter for his office, and he built a relationship with him. So whilst he was working there as a cleaner, Thomas Edison was eyeing him and looking at him. So a time came that he saw that potential in Edwin Barnes and gave him the opportunity, and they became business partners. After which you can Google about them and read more about them. So sometimes the opportunities that come to us, they don't come directly. Okay, I want to be a movie star. You can't just wake up one day, and become a movie star. You need to be doing all other things. You need to be running helter-skelter. All of a sudden, then the idea pops up. So we must be smart so that we don't chase opportunities, catch them and throw them away because we don't see that these are opportunities. Second, why should we be smart? Because smart people are able to create and utilize opportunities out of most situations. And there's a story I was told that there was this company that manufactured footwears or sandals. So they sent two people to a very remote area that they should go and find out whether business goes on there. They can do business with them or not. So these guys went. And when they got there, they returned. When they returned, one person said that, oh, in fact, when we got there, none of the people in the community, in fact, wore sandals or slippers. So it will be very difficult for us to convince them to wear slippers. Then the other guy said that, in fact, there's a huge opportunity there. When we got there, no one sold slippers there, and no one wore slippers. So he suggests that they should go there, distribute shoes freely, distribute slippers freely, and monitor them, let them wear it. When they wear and talk about it with their friends and colleagues, they will be able to buy. And in fact, when they tried it, it worked perfectly. And people who never heard of sandals, who never wore slippers, now became the center of their shoe business. So sometimes you have to be smart because you must create and utilize opportunities out of every situation. For example, when COVID-19 came, we saw a number of people complaining, but those people who were smart to change their business to the sales of nose masks, to buying and holding of thermometer guns, when after the lockdown, prices of those goods shot up, they were able to make a lot of money. So when we were indoors and complaining, people were smartly creating and utilizing opportunities out of COVID-19 situations. And some of the examples are these. If you have traveled Accra, Kumasi before, you know about Linda Door, and you know about other bigger restaurants on your way. When you get there, try to go behind their buildings, and you will find out that most of the buildings are built on muddy areas. Those were the lands people never wanted to buy. People never wanted to spend their money on. But someone sat down and smartly thought that if I am able to purchase this land and put this kind of business there, I'll be able to get a lot of people buying my goods and services. And today, when you get to Lindador, the food you buy there at 15 cedis, it will be like half of it or 7 cedis in the market or in the normal market. So people who are able to think smart are able to utilize the best opportunities. Smart people stand out in all situations. In fact, everyone on earth is looking for success. You are looking for success. I'm looking for success. All those on this platform participating in this seminar or summit, all of us are looking for success. So if we are all looking for success, for example, when we were kids, we used to go out to pick mangoes in the bush. Whenever we got there, we were running so that someone will see one particular mango and the other one will complex problems of the world needs smart people to understand. And that is exactly how the world has become. Most of us have got ourselves in situations like this that a lot of the world's problems are now complex that we can't even have simple solutions to it. We need to think smart and think deep before we're able to solve the world's complex problems. So if you are not smart, you will not be able to solve complex problems like this. And that's why we need to be smart so that all the problems we are thinking about have been solved through smartness, have been solved through what? Deep thinking, analysis, so that they're able to come out with such innovations. Let's continue. My slide is misbehaving a bit. Okay. So, habits of smart people. If you are smart, what are your habits? They are curious. And in fact, they search for opportunities where people complain a lot. So these days, you're able to find opportunities when people are complaining. Anywhere people are complaining, it means there's an opportunity there, but people don't see it. So smart people will not complain. They will stay quiet, but they are curious to listen and curious to find out why people are complaining and provide a solution to it and get paid for it. They are constant learners. In fact, smart people learn each and every day. Every minute they learn, every hour they learn, every day they learn, every week they learn, every night they learn. They understand how much they don't know and always willing to reach out to others for help. So smart people know that this particular thing I don't know about it. I must learn. Smart people can imagine greatness all the time and they easily adapt. So when there's a situation that people are struggling with, they will easily adapt themselves and change themselves to something else so that they can solve the problem that people are complaining about. That's how people are being smart. How do I learn to be smart? In fact, I may not be smart, but how do I learn to be smart? Someone may say that for him, he is not smart. How does a person start to learn to be smart? First of all, you must believe in yourself. The reason why we always ask permission from people for them to approve that these ideas we are bringing on board will help or not is because we don't believe in ourselves and we believe in them. We have the strength in them. We have the conviction that their knowledge surpasses us. Their knowledge is more than us. They have wisdom. They have experience more than us. So if we believe in people, then we will always seek their approval before we start any action. But when we believe in ourselves, anytime you get an idea, you can constantly check it well and start it at once. Then you have to be curious. Curious here means that anywhere you are walking, anywhere you are, anywhere you find yourself, be curious to find out something different. Be serious to find out something that should have been done that people are not doing. Then you have to read a bit and pay attention. I didn't say read a lot because I know that a lot of people have a bad attitude towards reading. So I said that we should read a bit, So we don't read only. If we read 3 books a day, 10 books a day, and we get nothing out of it, and we forget the beautiful things we hear in the books, and we forget the beautiful and skillful ideas we hear in the books, then we are not paying attention to what we are reading. So before you are smart, you are able to read a bit, and then you are able to pay attention to the things that matter to your life. Don't accept your current situation. Never assume that I'm poor already. Never assume that where I have gotten is enough. Never assume that, oh, I'm limited. I don't have any other thing to do again. Assume a role in a society wherever you find yourself. Don't be idle. Don't sit aloof. Don't watch people do beautiful things and wonderful things. You must do something too. You must find out a role to play in society. Be that person to always find the answer to a problem. Wherever you find yourself, be that person they are looking for to find an answer to a problem. Then try your skills on smaller tasks and increase your tasks with time. So when you want to try your strength, try it on smaller tasks and then increase it as time goes on. In conclusion, what I'm trying to say here is that we have learned on how to identify our purpose. We have learned on how to add value to our purpose. And today we have learned on how to be smart so that we don't have to get any approval or seek any permission from people around us before we are able to start or bring our vision and ideas to bear or to reality. And before we are able to do that, we have to be smart. We have to always accept roles in our society. We have to know that the world is now full of complex problems, but simple answers or solutions. If we are able to find out that button that you just click to find a solution to a problem, we are gone. And that is where our success comes from. Thank you so much. I would not like to bore you. I don't know whether I have been able to deal with the time or not, but I'll end here and just share with you my social media handles. If you go to Facebook, you can search for me, Apam Jonathan or Jonathan Apam. You get my page over there. Instagram is Apam in Spice. On YouTube is Apam in Spice. And that is my WhatsApp number on your screen. You can WhatsApp me all the time, anytime you feel like